The purpose of this video is to raise a little bit of money for the landowner to rent a dumpster for like a weekend to clean up what you're about to see. And no negativity toward any one person. On my drive home away from the tiny house on wheels, I had noticed numerous houses with yards full of belongings. A lot of us would say junk because it's all piled together. Now this is the same thing at the do-it-yourself world tiny house on wheels. They're belongings. They are somebody's. They are a person's personal belongings. So I no longer looked at it as junk when I got there. So being there definitely changed my perspective on things. It's so easy to point out somebody's flaws. We have them. We all have them.
We are going to put... Today I visited the Tiny House on Wheels, which has new owners, and they invited me in, and I also helped them move a bunch of stuff into a tent. They were also giving away as much stuff as possible because there is a lot of stuff out there that they don't need and they don't want. So I didn't really want anything, but they kept asking and kept asking to please take a few things. So they did give me one item I saw. I was like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. Let me check it out. You may recognize this. And Troy was not lying. It is broken. The tripod is broke. So that's a memento. And after the visit out there, new perspective on things, but the point is, I did visit. I was invited, and I did help move a bunch of stuff. Those big water friggin' tank things that were fiberglass, moving them into a tent, and I did see a lot of things, and Troy is also coming back to move more. So good for him. The place is a really nice place. It can be extraordinary, but the landlady will not sell it. And the tiny home was sold to these new awesome owners. They were very, very nice, extremely nice, and they invited me into their home. And they let me look around. They didn't really want me to film anything. That's totally understandable. It's just weird. I went there on a Craigslist ad. There's a tiny house for sale. It was also posted all over YouTube for $5,000 for a tiny house with more than $5,000 worth of lumber put into it. That's a pretty good steal if you can do the work about putting it onto maybe a cement pad. But these guys, they're going to put it on another trailer with a company that can lift it, put it onto a trailer that will hold it, and then they're going to move it off the property because the landlady does not want to sell it. Now these are facts. These are truths. And I don't want to hurt anybody along the way. These are just facts. And I was invited onto the property by the new tiny house owners. The tiny house up on the market for $5,000. It's a steal. It is going on the market for $5,000, and you'll have to flatbed it out. Wow.
Well, people bought the tiny house on wheels. They're very, very nice people, and they're cleaning up the area. So hopefully everything you see will get cleaned up. Maybe we can raise some money to help clean up. Those people are really cool. They're hikers, and hope to see them on the North Country Trail this year. They said they were going to go hike, and they're going to redo that entire tiny house. So, leaving Pine Bush. Okay, just left the do-it-yourself world land that Troy ended up selling the tiny house to a lovely couple hikers. They bought the tiny house for $5,000, and I got to go inside. Troy didn't want anybody filming down there, and understandable. So they got the tiny house for $5,000, and Troy is coming back to get some more stuff. They said they talked to Troy and Melanie while I was there. The reception was horrible because I asked if I could film around, and they didn't really want to. The tiny house on the inside is really big, actually. It is actually really big, and the meadow is a lot bigger than I thought it was as well. So, but the area, there's a lot of cleaning up that needed to be done. So, and that's what they're doing. And if anybody's in the area, please give a helping hand to them. And definitely will be needed. And nice people. I talked to the new owners of the tiny house. Troy did sell it, made the sale of $5,000, which is awesome. He got the money to move along to where he wanted to be, near family in Michigan. Now, being there changed my whole perspective on it. And Troy Reed is a person, and it's easy to poke fun at people, like I said, and it's not fair. It's really not fair. It's not. It's so nothing negative from me toward Troy, and however way he chooses to live life. We all have that freedom. So hey, he built something he was really proud of with the help of many others, yes, and he had to leave it, for the addition of a child coming. So congratulations on the child, Troy, and I am not going to be negative toward you or what you had done prior. A lot of people are upset about some things, so it is what it is. I respected your wishes after I had walked into to not film, so the only thing that you got was when I first got there and when I was leaving. That's that's what it is, and just came out here to reflect on it. And a lot of people just wanted to see the worst, and at first that's sort of the route I was going, and that makes me a jerk. So everybody has their way that they choose to live, and it is what it is. I'd like to personally thank everyone that donated for me to go to the tiny house on wheels and visit. It wasn't exactly what everybody was expecting, and I wasn't able to record because there are people living there now, and they were very, very nice people, extremely nice, and we had a good talk. They were not really familiar with any of the YouTube stuff, and Troy talked to them about it, and they watched one of his videos, but they're not into that. They're minimalists, and they're hikers, and that's what they do. So they have plans to get the tiny house removed from that trailer that it's on, and they're gonna get it. They have a company that's going to put it on a new trailer, so it's actually able to be moved. They let me inside and let me look around, and one thing I can say is it was very, very clean, very clean. So Troy kept the inside of that very nice, and it was a lot bigger than I thought it was. It really was. So the camera doesn't do it justice. I think the GoPro would have helped a lot to show the size of the place, but I don't think he ever had a GoPro. And I wasn't able to record inside because the new owners were actually living there. So, quite the adventure today. It was a 3-hour drive, 3 hours, 15 minutes each way. And I just wanted to go for a drive today. And the scenery, the area down there is absolutely beautiful. The mountains, there's so many mountains, and the roads go up alongside the mountains. It's really cool down there. And I forgot my dash mount. Of course, right? So, yeah, so that's it. What you see, that's all I could capture. And there's still a lot of stuff there. There really is. Not another 26-foot truck's worth of stuff, but there's a dumpster's worth, a good-sized dumpster's worth of stuff that could go. And then there's the camper, the RV. The tiny house has been purchased. The landlady does not want to sell the land because the new owners of the tiny house wanted to, but she doesn't want anything to do with that. She just wants everything off the property and be left alone. So, respecting those wishes as well when I left. And that's the last I'll be talking about the tiny house on wheels, because it's gone. So it's sold. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed what I did have to offer, and try to give you a perspective on how to treat others online. It's so easy to point out the flaws and all. So I think it's time to change that. If we don't like Troy, if you don't like Troy, if I don't like Troy, we don't have to watch. And simple as that, guys. So it's time to move on to a positive note and get away from the drama of this whole thing. And like I said, if you don't enjoy, don't watch. And that's what I'm going to do. If I don't like it, I'm not going to watch it. And it's time to, like I said, being there really changed my perspective on it. So that's the route I'm going.